All right, praise the Lord, hallelujah. It is a Friday, baby, and I love y'all and appreciate you joining me. I am your lovable, cuddly host, Sweet Bobby, aka Dr. Bobby Gaines. I teach at the University of Alabama. I teach investments, believe it or not. Yeah, and I'll actually be teaching personal finance at the University of West Georgia this fall as well. I'm very excited about that. And thank y'all for joining us. All of our traders never trade alone. We trade with our fellow nerds. We got Chris in the house today. We got Dwayne. We got Skip. We got Matt Jollywally. We got the Rickster. We got Scott and Vicky with a Y. Vicky with a Y, Vicky with an I are never here at the same time. Isn't it amazing? So let's see what the day is doing. We are up and away, up 0.4% on the E-minis and up 0.25% on the NASDAQ. And I'll tell you, one of these things is over the last couple of days, it seems like NASDAQ, I always tell you, look for the AD first, then look for here, and then look for here. But actually, it's the NASDAQ has not been following you can see it there. It looks a little different, doesn't it? It's not been following as well the E-mini S&P 500. So that's been a little funky. Well, volume is, I guess, a good average of under 2,000 shares every 2 minutes. The VIX is down to 15 just when I'm thinking about selling premium, y'all. You sit there and you say to yourself, Bobby, should you really? With the VIX at 15, and the answer is probably not. Should I be a premium seller at this level of volatility? I mean, the average is 17, and we're under the average, y'all, at 15. So probably not the best time to be selling. Hey, guys, I'm going to whoop some ASS if y'all don't hush up. Now, this is your last chance. I'm coming down there right in front of God and everybody. Now, chill it. They go to school Friday. Thank you, Lord. All right. The AD is at 172. The AD high is at 182. Just made the high right here. And the AD low is a negative 105. Let's look at our volume profile. Now, were I to sell premium, ladies and gentlemen, I would look, and y'all, I hate to be a soothsayer, but do y'all remember back when we were here? Do y'all remember this? And I said, we're going to the 64.30. Well, I lied to you, baby. We're at the 64.28. I told you. This thing does not lie. We are going to the 64.30 or right there at it. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? This thing is predictable. It does the same things over and over. It calls some bottoms. It's areas of support. It's areas of resistance. You see it here. It was a little bit of resistance there, popped on up. When we did, we said, hey, we're going to the 64.30. And indeed, we're going to 64.30. Where do we go from the 64.30? Well, we could pull back here. We could pull back here to the point of control, right? We could have a pullback, right? I see the point of control right here. That concerns me. I would think it's probably more likely that we could pull back here. But the other side of the coin is, look at this. You could go to the 64.96. You could easily do that. Probably what we're going to do is a cone. If I could draw a cone here, we're probably just going to waver in between these levels over the next 10 days. It's just not a lot of volatility, not a lot of volatility. And I'm thinking about selling puts, right? And going all in, and y'all are warning me, Bobby, don't do it. And Matt Jollywally is saying, Bobby, that looks dangerous. And it probably does with the VIX as low as it is. 95% of the days you're going to be fine with it, but there's going to be days that you're not going to be fine. So if you're going to sell premium, probably slow your roll and don't do a lot of it. Now, let's look at linear regression. That's what shows us a lot of stuff too, is our linear regression. So with the kids, instead of getting softer, they just left the room. That's good of them. That's good. They got out of town. They knew when Daddy was spelling ASS that I meant business. How is the overall market going, y'all? It is peaches and cream. It is rainbows and unicorns, baby. Everything looks really, really good. We are going up and away. Linear regression's up. It's up. We're having tiny, tiny candles. Look at this. It's like we're not sure that we should be happy. Are we sure? What about these tariffs? I don't know about that. And then we're sure, well, let's just eke up a little bit longer. And before you know it, you're going to be at 6,700 or 6,800. This looks really, really bullish to me. Looks really bullish to me. Why am I happy today? ladies and gentlemen, I have got a level of consistency that is amazing. I don't know what it's doing, but the scalping, now y'all laugh all you want to. This is where the big, the people will laugh and say, hey, I'm up $73.50 today in scalping. I am routinely getting in my $60 a day, right? I had breakfast this morning. It was $20 a day. And I said, if I could just triple that, that would be good. So we got $73.50 today. So this little account that we are doing here is at $15,575.50. So after commissions, we have made $575.50. And the majority of this has come in the last 10 days. Now you can do reports. I don't know where to show y'all a report, but I'm up like, I don't know, $800, $900 on the month because I was down to like 14.5, 14.6. So we have really consistently been able to do $60. And basically when I get my $60, I sit on my hands and I go, I don't want to trade because I don't want to be that guy that trades from 9:30 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. I don't want to be that guy. I really, really, really don't. And I don't think y'all do either. But I will trade from 9:30 to 12. That's pretty good. And so from 9:30 to 12, I can most days make my $60. And now you say, why 60, Bobby? Yeah, the reason 60 is this. What's this? It's a $15,000 account. If I can make $60 a day times 252 trading days, then I will double my account. Right? A little under 60. $15,120. I can double this account. I would love to do that. And if I can do that and have fun and do it with all my little things, and when I show y'all this, y'all sit there and go, what in the love of God is he got going on? So my friend Meyer today calls me. He says, Bobby, Bollinger Bands. Now y'all remember him. He's the guy that makes $10,000 to $20,000 a day, right? He said, I've added Bollinger Bands and I've added this thing right here, the what that's called. And I thought, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I can use it, but I used it today. And so Bollinger Band go to top, then it go to bottom, and then it go to top, and then it go to bottom. And so that's kind of helped me a little bit today, I guess, with the Bollinger Bands. When you combine it with this and this and this and this and this, there's a lot to look at. And I know it's really, really, really kind of difficult doing that. How much mind power maintenance is required per contract? Per contract of the micro things when I scalp, is that what you're talking about? Because that is only like $100 or something, you know? Now, I don't know what it is to hold it overnight. Oh, I do know. The problem is they may only take $100 worth of margin on Trade Evade when you're trading during the day. The problem is if you have to hold overnight, a micro, the MNQ is like $3,500 a night. So I could hold about 4 or 5 of them overnight if I wanted to, but I really just try to get out of the trade before the end of the day. But there's not a lot of buying power, and it's a lot of fun. And if y'all have not done it yet, go to Trade Evade and set you up a little paper account, and you can do a fake account or whatever. But I like having a little skin in the game. You can say 73.50 was profits, so I was 66% profitable trades today. My expectancy for trade per contract was $6.12. Wow. Wow. But hey, I'm building this up. Before you know it, maybe next week I'll be at 16,000. And then another week I'll be at 17,000. And I'll try to build this up. And I may go down, I may go up. I never know. Now, y'all know how I'm not a really good trader. I've never been a good trader. I like the game. I love the strategy. I love strategy. I love coming up with different things. I love, the AI part of it and all of this. So I had a buddy yesterday, a trading buddy, and I hadn't talked to him in over a year. And I'm like, hey, man, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, man. He said, man, I gave up all the complex option strategies. I give up everything. I'm not selling premium. I'm not doing anything. I said, what are you doing? He says, I'm buying stocks. I said, you're buying stocks. And I said, well, that's good. And he says, I'm shorting stocks too. He said, but there haven't been a lot to short lately. And I agree with that. A rising tide lifts all boats, right? Everybody knows that the rising tide lifts all boats. And so any strategy that you probably put on in the last, well, especially this year, other than that April term, has been really, really, really successful, right? It's been really, really successful. And oh, why do these people keep sending me messages on Messenger? I keep seeing you and my suggested friends. I just want to be with you and to have your baby. No, I think I'm fine, girl. I think I'm good. I got enough babies. I got 5 of them. What was I talking about? Oh, and I said, what are you doing? He says, well, he said, I built a screener. And I thought, screener. My mind instantly goes to think of swim. He says, I built a screener. So let's go to screener. Got scan here, right? He said, I built a screener, Bob. He said, and it shows me about 68 different stocks. And I thought, 68 different stocks. What chair?
The chair. That that fluffy chair?
I don't know.
Fluffy chair we got.
We got a new chair? We got a new chair?
The new old one. Not the white one. The gray fluffy one.
Oh, need to throw it away. It's need to put it in the trash.
How I can't put it in the trash.
Those numbers went by kind of fast. Did you make 12 trades to get your 60? Yeah. How much time did that take? Okay, let's go back to that.
Dad, I can't put it in the trash can.
Okay, well, I'll take it off to the dump sometime. Let's go back to that, Dwayne, because it's pretty good. Let's see. What it is, let's see here. Let's go to our stats. So it says 12 trades, right? Now that's not really 12 trades, y'all. That means that I click the button 12 times, but basically I would click it 2 or 3 times per trade. So this is between 6 trades because I do it per contract. I go buy, and I'll click the, buy market twice, and that's 2 of them. So this is between, I don't know, 4 to 6 trades. My average time in trade was 5 minutes and 42 seconds. My longest trade was 14 minutes and 48 seconds. I got in one that was kind of like, oh, will it ever go up? And then you see my commissions, 1560. I do have the lifetime plan, so the commissions are really, really low here, which is very good. So I'm ending up with about my $60 there after commissions today. Average winning trade was 3 minutes and 36 seconds. The longest winning trade was 8 minutes. It gets all these great little, these little things, your curve and everything. Let me see how do I go to reports? Let's see, reports. I'd like to show y'all how I'm doing. Well, here it is, reports. You go to reports, and you can come up here, and you can go, okay, how am I doing this month? Right, so 7/1 to 7/25. Go. Okay, here it is. And I thought it would tell you the stuff. I'll tell you. Anyway, this has been a lot of entertainment for me. This is better. Y'all, I'm retired. This is better than me sitting there. Elapsed time in the chair. Did you get $60 in 15 minutes? Oh, I probably sit here on the phone with Mark for an hour and a half or so. That's probably over an hour and a half, to do that. So that's not lawyer money, but it's kind of fun. I wish I knew where the thing was that showed, hey, how you're doing this month, the totals. Report orders. So we want orders. We want report performance, baby. Here we go. Now let's see how this looks. There you go. Here's what we done. All right. Gross P&L this month from 7/1 to 7/25. This is good. Is 958. Right. We've taken 145 trades. 5 minutes is my average trade. I was in one an hour and 34 cents. Here's the astounding thing. I'm really getting direction right most of the time, y'all. 84%. Fees and commissions 188. So from July 1st through July 25th, we're up $770. We had 1335 in profitable trades. I've not let the losing trades take me on. This is a graph of break even and positive trades. And then your little histogram. We had a drawdown. I told y'all we had a drawdown. But since we had a drawdown, look at this. We had drawn down what was a maximum of, I don't know, $200 or so. But ever since then, look at this 7/7, 7/8, 7/10, 7. I kind of like this little equity curve that we're building here. Started out horrible, didn't do good, but we're kind of moving it up now. Which is really, really good, right? That's how you do it. Oh, this is good, Dwayne. You'll like this. The profit time.
Yeah.
You see, I'm profitable in the morning, mainly between 10
Yeah.
and 12 when I stop. That's when my profits are. Look at this. End of the day, got a loss. After lunch, I'm too tired. I need to go watch The Young and the Restless. I don't have enough time. So I'm going to concentrate between this around 10 to 12 o'clock, about 2 hour day. And I can sit in front of the computer 2 hours a day and have fun. It's fun to me. It's not like, oh God, I got to wake up and go to the computer. It's something that's really, really, really fun. So I like that a lot. So anyway, my friend tells me that he's been buying stocks, and I go, do tell. So what he did is he built him a screener. Yes, I'll remove that from my lap. He built him a screener, and I said, well, I'm going to build me a screener. And so I took his screener, and then I did what I would say is I improved upon it, right? I don't know if I improved upon it or not. But what I did is took his screener, and what he basically said, well, I need to tell you so I don't forget. He said that he did a screener of something that, I don't know, I won't tell you right. Oh, he goes, okay. He wanted the 21 exponential moving average above the 50s SMA. So the EMA 21 above the 50 SMA. And I thought, well, that's crazy. Why don't you use both EMAs or both SMAs? He said, I don't know. I said, well, hey man, you've got a $500,000 account, and his overall profit, he started doing this like in March, his March or April, his overall profit is 189,000. So let's just put the round numbers there. You got a $500,000 account, and he's made $200,000. I said, well, you're on to something. I mean, you just didn't, I know it's been a bull market, but come on. He says, well, I've been shorting some too. I said, well, cool. Shorting's not really my thing. So he said the 21 is above the 50. He said, I want it to have average volume over the last 14 days to be about 5 million shares. Okay, so that's good. And you see what the volume is today of all these. Average volume of 5 million. Some of them's down, some of them's up. And then he said a minimum price of $10. And I said, well, that's probably, I don't like $10 stocks. I'm going to put in here $20 stocks, right? I'm going to put in $20 stocks. And he said, if you run that on the entire market, you'll get back like 50 to 70 stocks. He said, I just ran it and got back 63. He said, then you just plop through them and see what you like. Many you won't like because they are gappers. They have a big gap open. Or he said they're, just overextended, etc. He says, so there's, and so he come up with this little thing. So y'all know what I did because I love this. This is what I love, y'all. This is why I'm so excited today. So I go into Claude and I said, Claude, what do you think about his strategy? And Claude says, well, I'll tell you this. We could probably whittle it down a little bit. We could probably do this. We could probably do that. And so Claude fixed my code here, right? You can do all these little things. And so he fixed my code up. And so mine returned instead of 68 or 63 stocks, mine did 20 stocks. So come up with these 20 stocks here, right? So I thought, well, that is really, really good. That's really cool that you came up with that. So then, let's see, where did we do this? I was going to show y'all something. Bid, ask, high, low, EPS, market scan, sizzle index. I wanted to. How do y'all bring up a watch list? Y'all remember how? Where do you bring up a watch list? Stock character. Yeah, I do have a paid account with Claude, but you can do anything that I can do. I think I just get I don't want to run out of conversations. Anyway, you go to your watch list, and however you find your watch list, let's see, watch list here, default. So what it did is it came up with a watch list for me, and we came up with Bobby's Premium Momentum. So it basically came up with these stocks, right? NEM, Palantir, AMD, NVIDIA. Oh, TQQQ was one of them. Can't believe that was one of them. Anyway, it came up with all of these different stocks, right? That was in the list. So then what I did is I had Claude to basically look at the stocks. Okay. So I gave him a little message here and I just screenshotted this and I said, okay, what do you think? And I said, we're trading about $35,000 over here. I'd probably like to use no more than $17,000, about half of our money on this thing. And then I do remember the turtle traders from the 80s. I do remember them. I've read about them. They were really good. And so basically we're trying to, figure out these stocks that are sticking up, breakout traders. And this is what we are coming up with here. So basically Claude comes back and he says, yo, Bob, how about we do these four stocks? And I said, okay, these four stocks. And I asked him, I said, now, why? You got to give me your reasoning, Claude. Why these four stocks? And then he basically said, let's see. Then he basically ranked them, which is kind of cool, good or excellent. He said TQQQ. I'm already in TQQQ in one of our accounts. He came up with all these as being excellent, and then he recommended a four stock portfolio, right, of these four here. And then I'm like, wait a minute, pal. I come back to him, I says, can you look at volume, EMA, distribution percentage, volume ratio, 5-day percentage, how it's doing and how it's doing versus SPY to make sure that we are buying the four stocks that are the best candidates rather than just looking at price. So it was cool that I got him to evaluate it based on a few other things that he had brought out. So then he comes back and he says, Bob, here are the strongest momentum stocks that are performed against the SPY, their 5-day percentage. He goes BKR, NEM, AMD, and TOST, right? And he says, these are the ones, Bob, these are the ones. But then I'm like, yo, Claude. I'm like, let's see what I told him. He tells me how many shares to buy, all of this stuff, buy 175 shares there, do that. And then I say, yo, man, I looked at the charts of the four. After seeing the charts, what are your thoughts? So basically what I did is I did a screenshot of the daily charts for Claude over the last, whatever, 6 months or whatever that is. Just let him see it. And he comes back, he says, excellent chart analysis. Looking at these charts just changes my perspective significantly. So then he comes up and he says, hey, man, you need to be cautious of BKR. He said it's extended. It's also had a massive run. It just sees these things that you could see, but it's neat to see them verbalized, which is really, really cool. Then he says, hey, man, your best setup is this NEM at 65.42. It's got a clean breakout from consolidation. It's just breaking above previous resistance. It's got a healthy pullback and retest pattern. It's got strong volume on the breakout. And that's something that I could have seen, but it's neat to have Claude to look at these charts for us. Then he says, Toast, hey man, you need to stay away from this, stay away from Toast because it's extended. It went from 32 to 49. It's very far away from its 21 EMA, and it's a classic too far, too fast pattern. It's likely due for a pullback. So I said, okay, we'll throw that out. And I said, so we'll do NEM and then CVX Chevron, right? It's $155. He said it's steady, controlled uptrend, it's not overextended, it's respecting its moving averages, but the momentum is moderate. And I thought, okay, that's kind of cool. So then he said, basically this, he said, I would probably put 60% of your money of your 17,000 that you're going to do into NEM. And then I'd probably do only 40%, just 45 shares into this. Okay. So then, y'all know me. I'm like, I just ain't going to buy stocks. I mean, it's just hard. It is hard to just buy stocks. And my screener, part of the screener does, it says, hey, man, we're okay with, we want them to be optionable, right? So we can do option. So I told him, I said, okay, here's what I did, man. Since I was ready to buy the shares based on our analysis, I thought, hey, why don't I just sell puts to generate income or to accumulate the shares? So I sold 2 of the CVX. Y'all, that was too big for my account. I don't know why I did that. So I sold two of the CVX 155 strike at 56 days to expiration for $528. Now, after I did it, I was like, oh crap. I made $6 on the trade and I got out of one of them. So this basically is sold. I sold one of the CVX 155 strike at 56 days. So I brought in $528 there over 56 days, right? And I sold two of the NEM puts, 65 puts at 56 days, and I brought in $300 or $600 there, right? So 300 times two is 600. So we brought in premium today of, what's that? 500 plus the 600 at $1,100, right? So my exposure is 200 shares of each, which is now 100 shares because I went back and bought one of those back. I'm using about 49.6% of my buying power. Now, here's what I like about AI. They know how to butter us up. And he's basically saying, Bobby, you are the freaking God of all of this stuff. You are the man. That's a brilliant move. He said, that's actually a much more sophisticated strategy. He's basically telling me what I already know. My wife already knows it's very sophisticated. And just buying shares, you've essentially created a win-win scenario. So then he goes and does the strategy analysis. He says your CVX puts, actually, this is now one contract, is $528. Break even, he calculates that, the current stock price, and that gives me a 3.5% downside protection, y'all, by bringing in that $528. Then he brings up this. I collected $594 here. He goes to my break even, right? The 6203. Current stock price was 65.42. That gives me a 5.2% downside protection. Total premium collected, take out 500 of there, it's about $1,150. So what I've done is here's what you've accomplished. If the stock stays above the strikes, then I keep all of the $1,100 in premium, right? He says that's a 4.8% return in 56 days. No shares assigned, and I can repeat the strategy. Scenario two, the stock goes below the strikes, and I would get assigned 100 shares of one and 200 shares of another at the effective prices, which are better than the prices that I have today, right? And here's what I really liked. He says, hey, man, these two companies that you're buying here are quality stocks and you're getting them at a discount. Why this is smart income generation while waiting, lower cost basis if assigned, less capital at risk than buying shares outright, and time decay works for you. And you still benefit from our momentum analysis. You pick quality names. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to actually go in tomorrow as well. And I'm going to look and I'm going to say, are there any new companies that are on this? And then I'm going to look at it, kind of look at the chart, see if we're overextended everything. And then I have, and his last question, Mimi, how are you planning to monitor these? Will you use our exit signals if you get assigned the shares? So I wish I could bring up where the thing is, because he basically came up with, let me move this over so y'all can see it. He came up with, I wish I could get it to where you could see the rest of it. But he's got some exit signals over here, which are really, really cool. And he built the exit signals that basically tell me, hey, this is caution, or it'll say caution, or it'll say, hey, man, it's time to get out. So I got to figure out how to pull that up, and I'll ask him about that. But it's really cool that you can build something that will scan, for these. And what's another thing that's good about trading the stocks? Now, y'all know, I told my friend at breakfast, I said, I've not traded stocks at all. I said, until I traded him the other day, and made $562 on it. And I said, I kind of got the bug. And I kind of like, hey, man, let's see if we can do something here to get some of these breakout names. Now, if I were going to short something, I do not have the cojones to short a stock, and probably you don't either, because some of these names could be parabolic. They could really go up quick, and your risk is unlimited, right? But what you could do is you could sell a call spread if the IV is up, or what else could you do? You could buy a put. You could buy a put on some of those names. So I think what I'm going to do also is set up um, a little scan that will scan for those things that are going down, right? And just kind of reverse this and give me the dogs, man, that have options on them. Yes. Did you clean the porch? All right. I'll give you $2 if you'll clean the other side of the porch. This around the wrap around and the front porch.
No, I already did the front porch.
Do the side porch and I'll give you another $2.
You did the side porch.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I did the front porch a while back.
Okay, good. So I don't know.
And then can I do then I'll take out all the trash stuff for $1.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah.
For $1, and then I can have my.
You'll take out all the trash for Abby?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, take out all the trash for her, okay?
And then I can buy Robux.
And here, I'm gonna give you this. Here's 75 cents.
75 cents.
All right.
Is this enough to buy Robux?
That should be, yeah.
Okay.
Take out all the trash for Abby, okay? What was I talking about? But I don't know. I thought this was kind of neat. I had fun doing it. That's what I want trading to be for me is fun. And so, the thing that we were going to do today is we were going to do that strategy where we sold premium. And I guess we could do that. But I don't want to do it as large as I was doing, right? I don't mind taking a little bit of risk. So what we were going to do is go to the E-minis today because the IV rank is really, really low, right? It's really, really low. And what we thought we might do is sell a little premium. So now you could do this in SPX too, and we might check it in SPX, but bringing in something that's going to give you some 7-day income, right? 7-day income. And so what I wanted to do is to go down to about the 10 delta, which will be about right here, 62.60, and buy the 62.40s. So you got a put credit spread that's going to bring in what does that say? Oh, let me clear. Started to say $20,000 worth of buying power. That's crazy. So what do we say? Go to the 10 delta. So we said 62.60, and you buy the 62.40. So that's about 20 points, right? And you could bring in $65 at $1.30. And then I was thinking that what I'd probably do is do two of those. Right? Do two of those. And we bring in $130 over a 7-day period. And basically 95% of the time, look at this, 92% probability of profit, y'all. I mean, you got 92% probability of profit, brings you in $130. Well, what is your risk? Okay, so your risk is the 1870 max loss that you could have here. Is that sufficient income? Am I getting paid enough for the risk that I'm taking? I don't know. I think I could risk $1,700 and feel okay with it. Then what we would do is if the price goes below our 62.60, then we would move over to selling calls, right? And we would start selling calls over here, and these things would be really, really, really big. But we would do a covered call, a poor man's covered call. So we go out about 4 months and we buy a slightly in the money call, and then we sell calls against it until price went back up above our short strike here. So I don't know. I think I would love to say, hey man, you got a 92% probability of making $130. Well, that's actually the probability of making a penny, isn't it? But chances are at a 10 delta, you're really going to have that. So then I would go back and go, okay, 62.60 is my short strike, right? Let's look at it where it is on our chart. 62.60. All right, where is the 62.60? 62.60 is right here. Hey, it's on the chart. It is on the chart. Do I think in 7 days that we're going to be from here to the 6260. It could happen. It absolutely could happen. We've got tweaks and tariffs and all kinds of stuff, but the chances of that happen are very, very, very low. We'd have to go through this point of control. I'd be feeling some pain, right? But chances are, I'm looking at the big green monster. That would cause us to be way down here. And I think I'm comfortable with that risk. And that's what I would say do. But the IV is not high enough to really sell premium. So you got to kind of look at this and go at the charts and say, well, do I think that it could do this to this? And I don't think that it could. I mean, it could, but if it does, I could eat that, right? $1,700 isn't going to kill me. Is it worth getting $130 in 7 days? I don't know. Let's look at it on SPX. Y'all want to? Let's see if we did it on SPX, what that would do. SPX. So I guess we'd want to do another 7 days on here, right? And what would you do if you did a 20 out here? Let's see if you go down to a 10 delta here, 10% probability of winning the money. If you did a 62.25, so that, and that's a 10 delta, yeah. 62.25, and you did 20 points wide would be the 62.05. You bought the 62.05. Then that gives you roughly the same thing, right? 1880 in maximum loss is very similar to what we would do over there. I'll give you $17 of theta. Your max profit on this would be 120. So we got 130 on the other one, 120 there. The max loss is roughly the same. Now, let me ask you this question. You're right, one contract instead of two. You're exactly right. What was my overall total exposure on the other one, y'all? Was it the same thing? Let's go back. I gotta look now. So we got $1,800 worth of risk, but you're right. You're only doing one contract. Do they charge commission on SPX? Let's see what it looks like. Let's see what SPX looks like. SPX commission is $2 on that, and fees of $1.56. So you're getting in $3.56. Let's go back and look at the E minis. There you go, 7 days. And we said the 10 delta. Oh, here we are, got it made up. We got two of those. 1870, right? Same risk, roughly. You're bringing in just $10 more. Theta of $19. And the fees on this are going to be more. Look at that, y'all. Commission is $5. So you're doing $8.48 on this trade. So I would say do the SPX instead. You're still getting the Dwayne, you said no. What did you say no to? Did I do something wrong? I like going to the SPX. Oh, your mistake. Okay, I like going to the SPX. So they charge a little bit of commission, but we could go 7 days, take the same amount of risk. So let's see, the 10 delta again was way down here. There it is. Now, if I wanted to take a little more risk, I could juice my returns up a little bit, right? I could go 6,200 and get me 145, but that brings me a maximum loss of 23. I think I just like it 20 wide. Like that. 20 wide. Bring in $1.20 if we can get $1.20. Let's see if we get $1.20 on that. 7 days out. Boom, baby, we're in. Now, could you close it at 50%, midway through the week or whatever? You could. But I think this is going to make Matt Jollywally feel a lot better too. Instead of me doing 10 contracts or 5 contracts of this, right, and taking a $2,000 risk times 5 be $10,000 risk. Instead of taking $10,000 risk for $500, I can take $120 risk for $1,800 or $1,800 risk for $120 worth of profit. So I think what you say is IV is low. What does that mean? IV, if we go to VIX, y'all know what it does, y'all. This should be no surprise. And if it does happen next week, we'll say, well, they got me. Let's look at the chart. and see what VIX looks like. It does what it does. Right? This is a monthly chart. Let's go to a daily chart. It does what it does, y'all. We remember this day, don't we? Remember tariff talk next Friday? Uh-oh, tariff talk next Friday. Yes, that's August the 1st, isn't it? That's when the tariff thing could happen. It very well could. But I'm going to take my chances. I think buy the rumor, sell the news. I don't think the news is going to be as serious as what the rumor is. I don't think so. I think we're going to be safe. And y'all know how Trump is. He could easily say, oh, we're going to pump it out another 90 days. So you're exactly right, man. It could happen. But am I willing to risk $1,800 to make my 120? I think so. I think we got a 92% probability of success. But when we're down here, you're always susceptible to this. The good thing is we have defined risk, don't we? We've got defined risk. So it's not unlimited risk like what we were doing before. So we're doing really, really good. I'm really proud of this. Let's look at this account. This one is the account that has just TQQQ in it. Let's look at the positions in this one. Going over a lot of stuff today. I appreciate y'all hanging in there with me. TQQQ, we've got 71.6802 shares. Wow, behave my heart. And we're only using 60% of our buying power. I probably could add on that. I hope the market goes down, and let's add some TQQQ. Let's make sure that we're not paying any margin interest. Cash is all positive, so we could spend a little bit, $520 worth of cash. But this is what I like on this account. This is just an $8,000 account, and we're up 743 on the year. We've had a good year for TQQQ. So we got the TQQQ plan. We've got the 111 that we still got in this account. How's our 111 doing? And we're going to add to the 111 on down days if we ever get any. Right, significant down days. We'll actually add that on that. But our TQQQ or our MES position is doing just fine. It's look at this. I already made $34 on the NEM position. Wow, look at that. Close it 5.7%. I mean, that's good. $34, and we lost $2 on the CVX. But that's good. $84 on the first day of selling that put. So we got TQQQ, we got stocks, we got Bill, we got the 111, we got SPX. Oh, I'm tired, y'all. What y'all got questions about? Anything? Now, if anybody in the Muscadine Mafia wants that screener, once I get it all together, I'll send that in the Muscadine Mafia if y'all are interested in doing that screener. But you could easily say, hey, man, I'm going to buy some calls. You know, things are really low IV now. Instead of selling puts, maybe you don't want the shares. Maybe you say, I'll sell a call and see if a couple of those things hit, right? Those momentum things hit. And that would be good too. So we'll kind of follow along and see how those do. Anyway, I love all of you. I appreciate you to death. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I will see you Monday. And hopefully William Shatner and Willie Nelson will still be with us. Unbelievable. Everybody and their mama dying.